Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Tom Brady officially coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Rock Boys saw this coming. It was a little bit weird with a guy that competitive retiring in the peak of his career. Didn't smell right. And so he's back, and we're going to wrap a little 2022 NFL mock draft for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have one of the best rosters in the NFL. And now they have the best quarterback of all time coming back for another go-around. This team's poised to win a Super Bowl, and their window is now. Once again, appreciate you all for liking, subscribing to the video. It means a lot to my brother and I with all the support you guys have given us. And with that being said, let's get into this mock. All right, so taking a look at the free agents for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, JPP gone. He's 32 years old. Maybe not signing him back. Ryan Jensen and Ali Marpet. So Ryan Jensen, free agent. Ali Marpet, retiring. You need to bolster that inside of that offensive line. But you got Tristan Wirfs there, who's just dominant tackle. Let's take a look who falls. I'm thinking like maybe a Zion Johnson, a Kenyon Green, somebody who's going to be able to come in right away and make this football team a little bit better. The idea of pairing up Jordan Davis with Vita Vea is very enticing right off the bat. Do we have our Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green available here? That's the big question. Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green. We've had a big discussion with our viewers with who's better, Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green. Which one are you taking? I think for the Bucs circumstance, Kenyon Green's film's better. Kenyon Green's an absolute road grader. I want a guy who I know is going to come in and be very, very solid, and that's, I think, Zion Johnson. He's made his stock go way, way up ever since the season ended. He's been solid at BC his whole career, had a great Senior Bowl, a great combine, tested way better than Kenyon Green. We're going to go get Zion Johnson. I think he's the one who makes this team better. And again, this is the window. You need to draft guys who are giving you that boost. I think Zion Johnson's that kind of guy. Again, both those guys, I think, are very, very good options for the Buccaneers at 27. But Jordan Davis there, man, that is exciting to look at for sure. Got Uncle Lenny's on a free agent. Maybe running back late round. Hopefully you can get Godwin back. Let's see who's falling for us here. Pick 59. Brian Asamoah is still on the board. I like his game a lot. I think there's better linebackers a little bit later in this draft. I like Troy Anderson. I like Jan Tober. What is the wide receiver market looking like right now? Christian Watson. I love the idea of giving Tom Brady Christian Watson. I love the idea of giving Tom Brady John Mechie. I think it depends on what you guys do with Chris Godwin. Christian Watson, man. We might have to just go up and get him. Let's check the edge real quick. I think Christian Watson's the pick. Christian Watson, man. I think is 6'4" possession receiver. I think John Mechie's also in the discussion because John Mechie's more of a guy who you can line up all over the field. That's what he did at Alabama. He can win short, intermediate passing routes is what Tom Brady really likes in a receiver. And then you got Mike Evans who kind of gets vertical downfield. I think Wendell Robinson's also a very interesting selection there too. This might be unpopular, but I think John Mechie could be the pick here. John Mechie's film is extremely good, and I like the fit a little bit better than Christian Watson. I love Christian Watson. I think he's more of a boundary receiver. He moves extremely well for a 6'4" wideout, tested extremely well. He's very, very smooth. But John Mechie did it at the highest level. I think you give somebody like Tom Brady a John Mechie who you can line up anywhere and he's going to get open. I think that's really, really valuable. But Christian Watson's still available here. I don't know if we're going to double up on wide receiver, but that would be a very interesting pick. Take a look at cornerbacks. I don't love the idea of like trotting out a rookie cornerback. I really like Marcus Jones. I think he's more of a slot guy, but I really like Marcus Jones' game. I I don't hate the idea of taking a look at linebacker. I mean, this is more the idea is that Levante David's got one more year on his contract, and he's probably done with the Bucs. It's been a great career for Levante David, but he's 32 years old. And then Devin White, he's got 2 more years. So I think, and this is kind of what we've been saying a lot is this is kind of the sweet spot for linebackers. Let's take a look at who's available at linebackers. I like a lot of linebackers kind of at this range. I like Darian Beavers. I love Tariq Woolen. I think he's a guy that you just want to get your hands on him and mold him because he can be he can be real good. And let's check the edge real quick. JPP's gone. D'Angelo Malone. Sam Williams has done it at a high level. Malcolm Rodriguez, I really like. We're going to go get Tariq Woolen. Let's see here. I'm still working on how I use this new simulator here. Tariq Woolen, 6'3", long arms, puts his hands on you. I really am a fan of Tariq Woolen's game. Not to mention the 4.340. This dude absolutely has burners. He's still learning the position. I mean, he played Madden to learn the cornerback position. Again, it's just who can you find that's going to help this team kind of get over the edge? I think we added John Mechie, who's going to be – I think now you got to go get Christian Watson. There's no way he should be falling here. Christian Watson's a guy that we were thinking about drafting at 59. That's kind of just a no-brainer. If I'm Bucs fans, I don't think – look, my hair's going nuts right now. I don't think you're getting your hopes up of getting Christian Watson late in the 4th round. But if he's there, you got to take him. Got to take him. That dude is an absolute freak. How big he is, how big his hands are, how smooth he moves. I really like Zach Tom. I think you guys know. I think he can be a guy who comes in and starts at center right away. It's where he played most of his college career at Wake. Then they moved him to tackle, basically just because he was the best tackle on our best offensive lineman on that team. Cam Jergens is another guy that I really like. He's kind of been told he's the knockoff version of Tyler Linderbaum, a guy who's a little bit undersized, who's just an absolute freak athlete. Really good mover. And Chris Paul's a guy that's been getting a lot of love too. Again, here you go. You're the Bucs. You're thinking about who are these guys that you can trust who are going to come in and make some sort of difference. I think it's Cam Jergens or Zach Tom, and I'm going with Zach Tom, the guy who's played a little bit more versatile. He's extremely smart. At left tackle, he was calling out protections for Wake Forest. Talk about this a lot. I had the privilege of being in a class with him at Wake Forest. This dude is legit brainiac. Extremely smart. He's quiet, but he's smart. That's the type of guy. He is a type of guy you want in your locker room. He's going to keep his head down. He's going to work really hard. A couple of Michigan guys off the board. Shout out Chris Hinton, Brad Hawkins, who didn't get invited to the combine. A little bit of a joke. I love the Bills getting Jelani Woods there. Jelani Woods could be a nice little pickup too. I think they could be looking at tight end. Obviously, Gronk's moving on. Tom Brady historically has loved tight ends. Jelani Woods would have been a great pickup. I kind of wish that we were thinking about him a little bit there because that would have been a really good pick. All right, 244 here. I love Malcolm Rodriguez. Talking about a guy who's going to play special teams for you. He's a little bit tight. Doesn't have the quick. He ran a good 40, but I think he's a little bit stiff. But I mean, there's something to be said about a guy who's just comes in and he's just making all the tackles for an Oklahoma State defense. That's phenomenal. We were doing summer scouting in 2020, and this guy was flashing on film. He's kept that up for the last 2 years. I think Malcolm Rodriguez is the pick here. I know he's the best available, maybe a little bit of a cop-out, but Malcolm Rodriguez is the real deal. Cam Jergens would be a nice little selection here. Jeremiah Gemmel I like a lot. Let's take a look at the running backs. This is about the time. Maybe we go get a running back a little bit earlier, but there's some really good running backs. Abram Smith is a guy that I absolutely love. Former linebacker at Baylor. He runs the ball like a linebacker. He's just going to run over whoever stands in his way. He's an absolute junkyard dog. kind of the way the Bucs kind of wanted to do with Lenny. I mean, Lenny just runs hard downhill. I think Abram Smith can do that. I think Tyler Goodson is a little bit more of the complete back. We kind of missed out on those top running backs, who I think you could have looked at. I like the idea of the Bucs taking a running back because I don't love the idea of like signing Lenny Fournette back or Ronald Jones back to any meaningful money because I think they're just okay. I think that offense will run the same with an Abram Smith or Tyler Goodson, kind of the lead back. We're gonna go with Abram Smith because you got that rookie from the young buck from Vanderbilt who's been given some good reps, and so you can kind of balance Abram Smith out as the first and second down back, and then Vaughn. It's not Deuce Vaughn. Something Vaughn. Let's check what PFF gave us. They're probably down on our draft because we're just a little bit too smart. Hey, we got a couple of A picks. Zach Tom, they know it. Well, this is just based off their best available. Now I'm thinking about it. We got a B for the draft. John Mechie may be a little rich there. I think Wendell Robinson's also a very intriguing prospect at that spot. Kind of what they did with Antonio Brown, moving him around, getting him the ball in his hands in space. I think Wendell Robinson's a very exciting guy to potentially do that with. But John Mechie just showed that he's an elite receiver at the highest level of college football. I think he's one of those guys that we talk about a lot. You don't need to scheme him touches. Wendell Robinson, you have to scheme him touches. He doesn't have that complete route tree that John Mechie has. John Mechie is going to be the wide receiver 3 there if they get Chris Godwin back, and he's going to be open. He's a great wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 piece. You're not scheming him touches. You're asking him, hey, you got to run this 10-yard dig. He can do it. You got to run a 15-yard, or you got to run a vert. You got to he can make all those routes happen. And then you throw in Christian Watson, who legitimately could be, if you don't get Godwin back, he could be a stud. People are talking about picking him at 32 for the Lions, and I don't even disagree with it. And then you get Zach Tom, Malcolm Rodriguez, 2 really smart guys. I kind of wish we might have gotten a linebacker there. I know they're set with linebacker this year, and that's why I wasn't pressing too hard to get one. Because Levante David, Devin White, they're two very, very solid linebackers. We end up getting one who Malcolm Rodriguez, who's not only going to be a great special teamer with the speed that he has, but he's also going to be a great depth guy. He played at a super high level in the Big 12 at Oklahoma State. I highly advise you watching a little Oklahoma State film if you got to get talked into Malcolm Rodriguez. He is all over the football. There you have it. B grade out of the PFF mock draft simulator. I'm decently happy with this pick. I really like the Zion Johnson pick. I think Kenyon Green also could be talked about there. Once again, appreciate y'all guys for rocking with the Rock Boys. The support, again, means just so much to me and my brother. We love ripping these mock drafts. We love talking ball, and you guys have kind of given us a platform to do that. Talk to you guys later. Peace.